In the Young Rocket Scientist 1, Eli was on the quest to make the perfect rocket. But they didn't usually work very well. They would always blow to fragments before they got very high. Some of them didn't even take off the ground. Rocket smokes. Then smokes some more. And then it dies. But he kept trying and trying, and they continued to fail. Until one day, zoom! It goes high into the sky! Eli was successful. Now he aims to combine the success of that rocket with the success of a recently invented firework
to make an exploding rocket.
But first, he must mix up the 4 powders that will make the rocket. The rocket is a little different from the original one, more powerful, and it must have a way to light the firework which will be attached to the end.
So we're going to be using 4 different powders in the rocket. The first is the rocket fuel from the last video, a mixture of potassium nitrate and sugar, 65% potassium nitrate, 35% sugar. Then, our first new powder is delay mix. This is simply the white mix, the potassium nitrate and sugar, with 3 grams of baking soda added to it. This will produce a delay that will then ignite this black powder, which is double FG Pyridex. And then our last powder, which will be the burst charge, is flash powder, which is a mixture of 7 grams of potassium perchlorate and 3 grams of aluminum powder. So now I'll do a burn test to show the different powders in action.
The next step is to cut the casings from a PVC pipe. Next, Eli scoops ground up kitty litter into the rocket cartridge. This will be packed down with a dowel rod and a hammer to form the end plug. Next, he scoops the rocket fuel into the casing.
So now I'm going to drill all the way through the top cap with a 332-inch hole to reach the delay mix. Now I add a small spoonful of black powder on top. And this will go down all the way through the 332-inch hole, all the way into the delay mix, which will, when the delay is done burning, the black powder will be ignited. One firm tap is given to secure the black powder. The next step is to change drill bits from 332-inch to 732-inch. The 732-inch bit will be the nozzle. This will be measured on my template to
Eli drills the nozzle for his rocket. Next, he drills a hole in the end cap. This is where the fuse will go. Eli cuts the fuse. Next, he puts hot glue around the end of the rocket casing. This is where the firework will be attached. Eli attaches the firework. Then Eli puts a little extra glue around the outside just to be sure that it stays secure. Then, the young rocket scientist, rocket and blowtorch in hand, sets off to the launch pad. This is the same place where the Young Rocket Scientist 1 was filmed. He sets up his launch tube into the ground. Then he slides his rocket down it.
He is ready for launch.
He lights the fuse and runs. The rocket smokes and shoots high into the sky, then comes spiraling back toward the Earth. Boom! There is a small explosion.
Now, while that did work surprisingly well, and that you did hear a bang, I'm actually pretty sure that was just the burst charge, not the flash powder and the firecracker going off. So I'll try again, this time using a different method. So here's the basic working of the rocket. This here is the clay nozzle. See here, the rocket fuel comes in here. It burns from the bottom up like this. Comes up through here, produces a hot gas that gives the rocket thrust. Then when it finishes burning, it reaches to delay mix, right here, which burns slowly for about 5 seconds. It then lights black powder down through this 332-inch hole, which is drilled through this other clay plug here, which goes up and ignites a black powder and the flash powder here, which is supposed to ignite this fuse, send this firecracker flying with the fuse burning, and then that'll explode. What I think happened was that this fuse didn't light, and that we just heard this flash powder in here going off and sending this thing flying. But I have another idea. So this is my new design. It works about the same, except up here, this is the firecracker right here with the flash powder in it. Instead of having the black powder igniting the fuse on this, the fuse comes all the way down through the 332-inch hole in the plug, and it gets lit by the delay mix up here. Hopefully this will light the fuse.
The young rocket scientist slides his brand new rocket into the launching chute. He lights the fuse and makes a run for it. The rocket goes airborne and comes down toward the Earth. As it descends, Eli waits for the bang. But it doesn't come. Eli is disappointed but not discouraged. He has yet another idea up his sleeve. The new rocket has no delay mix and is encased in aluminum foil. Eli hopes that it will work like a dream. The young rocket scientist lights the fuse once more.
3, 2, 1, drop it!
The rocket shoots up into the sky and explodes! Eli is successful. Excitedly, he heads off to search for the body of his rocket. He finds it far from the launch site. So, are you more excited about this success than you were from the first successful launch in the Rocket Scientist 1?
Yeah, I'd say so. It works a little more like a firecracker than like a firework than a rocket. But it does more, it's more complicated, and this one worked really well, so I'm happy with it.
Thank you for watching The Young Rocket Scientist 2. If you have not seen the first video, we have left a link in the description so that you may do so. Please share us on any social media if you have, and like this video.
Thank you.